What's going on? What's going on? Peace, family. What's the word, man? How's everybody doing this evening? What's going on? What's going on? Let's see what we got, Jew. Peace, peace. What's going on, Mark? Penny, what's going on, bro? What's going on? I see y'all in the building, man. What's going on, man? Welcome, 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 man. Trill Cash, what's going on? E Snap, what's good? Trill, what's good? Tree, what's good? Jay Jammin, what's good? I see the Queen. I see Rose. What's going on, Miss Jefferson? Phyllis, what's happening? I see y'all. Good vibes. Janine, what's going on? What's going on? I see everybody, man. What's the word, man? What's the word, family? What's going on? Welcome to another broadcast, man. I am your host, Minister Jew. And I'm back on these YouTube streets yet again today to impart some wisdom to the family. Y'all know how I do. Anytime I see something pop up on these quantum algorithms, I'm on top of it, man. Got to be that way. I gotta fulfill the mission. I gotta do what I've been sent down here to do and do it well. What's going on? What's going on? I see the African goddess. I see LTs. I see the Realish. I see Edward. Chris, what's up, fam? What's going on? I see y'all, man. What's the word? So, what we talking about tonight, Jew? So, a couple weeks back, I did a broadcast on on this gentleman named Charlie Kirk, who was killed a couple weeks ago, and I went into that to demonstrate this phenomenon. Now, a lot has transpired in the last 2 weeks, and my mission, my goal, always remains the same. It's a persistent, consistent message. In a world full of effects, right? Because we'll point to this, we'll point to that, and then that'll take us down a really, really deep rabbit hole. My goal is to always get people to come back to the cause of the phenomenon of this whole thing, man. I can't express that enough. I mean, I really can't. The cause of the phenomenon of what we see transpires around us is not. It's not solely what our five senses tell us that it is, or the feedback that we get back from the objective world, which is so very convincing. And so we'll point and look over there. We say, well, it's this. It's got to be that, Jew. Or did you see that video? Or did you see that? And so on this platform, I'm really able to express myself in the best way that I know how. Because a lot of times you be in the environment with people where they really don't understand the phenomenon, right? And so it's kind of hard to elucidate these points, even though I might be saying it as clear as possible to somebody, because they're not really familiar with the phenomenon, right? Or the mechanics of the phenomenon. Sometimes it can be difficult to hold the conversation because it keeps slipping back into the world of effects, right? You could be steady hammering away at the cause, and they'll keep pointing to the world of effects. And so tonight, again, what I want to do is pull people back to the source of this phenomenon. That's what I want to do tonight, and demonstrate how this web, this delicate, intricate web, is always finding crossroads, man. You know, about meet me at the crossroads, right? So, like, it's always a crossroad or an intersection where when something's been planted in the soil or the subconscious mind, whether it be the individual or the collective community, right? The collective consciousness of the world. Once that thing takes root, it has unlimited potential on how it will sprout, right? And so we have to be mindful of that when we're ingesting this information, because man, I was talking to Ampu earlier, man. I'm like, man, it's fascinating. It's awe. You're in awe of how this thing works, man. Uh, Even though I've been behind the screen looking at the code, at least for a decade, seriously, like seriously looking behind the screen to see how is this thing being plugged and positioned and programmed. Even me, sometimes I look at this and I'm like, man, this is just like no way, Jew. You know what I mean? And every time, man, it's like yes way, Jew, yes way, right? And what does Scripture say? As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways. And so I'm always reminded of that when I'm looking at these things happen. But let me see what happens, man. Let me try to share my screen. Let me just see. Okay, so y'all bear with me for a second. Y'all know how this thing be treating Minister Jew sometimes. Y'all just bear with me for a second. Sure. All right. So hold on, let me do this. Can y'all see my screen out there? I gotta sign in myself over here because I gotta be able to know that I could be seen and or heard, right, Jew? So hold on, y'all. Just be patient with me. All right. So somebody in the chat, give me some feedback. Can y'all see my screen? Is it large though? Like, or am I still taking up the majority of the screen? Can y'all actually see the screen? Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see something, Drew. What does Ampu have done back here? Let me see. Okay. All right. What about now? Is that better? Somebody give me some feedback. We good? We A-okay? All right. So everybody's checking in saying that we good. So again, man, if you're new to the channel and you gravitate toward the information, please consider subscribing to the channel. If it's your first time viewing Minister Jew on YouTube, I appreciate your time, your attention, et cetera, for coming over to check out and listen to see what it is that I have to say. And if you're moved by it, consider subscribing to the channel, share it with a friend, hit the like button, comment, all that good stuff to get the algorithm pumping. For those with eyes to see and ears to hear that are ready to digest this information, to come on over and check it out. So we're going to get into it, man. This is my ministry, man. Imagination Guru Ministry has been going on strong for over a decade now, where we talk all things consciousness, all things mind, all things prayer, all things manifestation, which are really the same thing. People get caught up on these words. Oh, prayer, manifestation is not biblical. Manifestation is not of the church. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. But that's neither here nor there. But this is what we do over here. I teach people about the power of the mind, the mechanics of quantum physics, and this relationship to you, yourself, the individual, as it relates to ancient texts such as the Bible and other texts as well. And we also cover a lot of ground as far as the neurological aspect is concerned, to really nail this thing down to the floor for the true practitioners out there that are looking to, have an impact or benefit in their day-to-day experience from utilizing their information. All right. So let's get into it, man. Right. I'm calling this is it predictive programming, or is it a quantum system or quantum programming that's taking place? Right? See, a lot of times when these things happen in the world, the brain is looking for answers, right? And you can only go as far as your computing power will allow you to go mentally. So for some people, they've reached a ceiling of understanding the dynamics of consciousness, reality, mind, et cetera, et cetera. So what happens is this: they reach a ceiling and they start right there and they say, well, the brain says, well, it's got to be some type of predictive programming. What else? How else does this make sense? They'll say, well, the Simpsons showed it. Some other people showed it. They're doing us to prime us. And me and Aunt Pooh be having these conversations, man. And excuse me, because we be laughing. You know what I mean? Maybe we shouldn't laugh, but we be laughing because it just be like, man, you know, when you really start to peel back the layers of why this would be, and it's always they're getting you prepared for something. They're getting you prepared for something. But the something never seems to ever happen. There's never this big crescendo or climax point where all hell breaks loose down here. It's never quite that. I used to call it the slowest rotisserie ever. This been a rotisserie going on for 100 years, and they ain't took that chicken off yet. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to ask ourselves, like, okay, if it's not predictive programming, because when we really start to run the analytics and analyze it, it just doesn't pan out to make total sense, right? And so some people want to hang on to this cliffhanger. Well, it's got to be something next. And then the next thing happens. Well, it's got to be something next. Well, maybe that something next isn't what you thought it was. And so I'm here to posit a different mindset, a different outlook from a different angle to say, wait. Maybe it's not that at all. So let's just look at the definition, the technical definition of what people consider predictive programming to be. So predictive programming refers to the idea that the elite groups are using media as a subliminal mind control tool to make the public more accepting of future planned events. Okay? So then we get these things that happen in these movies or happen on a TV show, right? And then we say, man, they was priming us 50 years ago, Jew. I say, pump your brakes, maybe not. And so came across this about a week and a half ago. I said, yeah, the field is talking right back to us. It's talking right back to us. Because see, you know, what did Christ say? He said, this generation is always looking for a sign. Right? In the Old Testament, they would always be asking for a sign. Show us a sign. Right? And so when you mature in your teaching, you don't necessarily need a sign because you know the mechanics of it. You know it's real. You don't necessarily need a sign because you've experienced the phenomenon for yourself to know that it's real. But a lot of people haven't reached that degree yet of understanding. And so when I saw this, I said, yeah. Now, just what's the odds of this, man? Right? And some people will try to write this off as just like, oh, well, it's a bunch of other people got the same birthday as you. Well, man, listen, let me tell you something. These two gentlemen, right? Really, since when George Floyd was murdered, okay, the gentleman Charlie Kirk had some commentary about George Floyd that, let's just say, a certain demographic of people didn't like. Now, let me tell y'all something about emotion, right? I used to talk about this when things would happen. to black people and cop killings and all that. I used to say, no, don't go outside with your signs. Don't go outside rioting. No. I said, go to your prayer spot, your altar, your closet, your lazy boy, wherever you do your prayers or your meditation. And I say, whatever you want the outcome to be or a scenario to happen because of this, transmute that emotion that is percolating in your qualia, right? And project that out into the field. I said, that will get you more of what it is that you are looking for from that said feeling than any of those other external things that you do. In fact, I used to make quantum placebos, and I can prove this. Okay. So what is happening here is this. These two gentlemen have been connected for a very long time. We're talking about 5-6 years. Okay. In fact, some of the memes that were being generated after Mr. Kirk passed away, there were memes of Charlie Kirk and George Floyd in like this heavenly abode where they were actually shaking hands. I said, now this is interesting imagery here, Jew. See, what if I told you that we're struggling to understand the polarity in the mind of God? What if I told you that? And these instances and these projectiles that we call human beings, right, from source, is here to give us an indication of what that tug of war is looking like. Now, I want y'all to read something. Right? Because y'all always hear me use this term quantum entanglement. Let's define it. They call it spooky action at a distance. But let's read it. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon where one particle can be correlated with another in such a way that one particle can effectively know something about the other particle instantaneously, even when the two particles are separated by great distances. Now, you may say, Jude, these gentlemen are born 20 years apart, right? But somehow, because we didn't know this phenomenon, this wasn't ushered into the consciousness or the psyche of the collective mass until after Charlie Kirk passed away. But this has been an underlying current that has been there since the moment October 14th, 1993, when Charlie Kirk came into this world. So this is why, damn it, let me tell y'all something. The intelligence of this phenomenon is otherworldly. I mean this. Because see, you have to, now your brain with the calculating power that we have, now you start to have to ask some very logical questions. Right? You have to say, well, wait a minute. That means light was so intelligent that it knew that it would be an incident with a gentleman named George Floyd, right? And let's just say, I don't know, was that in the year 2020, 2021, whenever that was, right? To be patient enough to say, I'm going to interject another projectile down here called Charlie Kirk, line them up on the same trajectory and line in space, have them conjoined at the hip on a subject matter and topic in which it appears to be that they have no idea that they're running a collision course into one another. Okay? Only for when the drama to completely unfold and the curtain close on both of these gentlemen is now this entanglement now made aware to the public. See, this thing, man, I always say this, it's nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with. And so what we got to get to of this understanding is, look, we have to make a collective choice. How are we going to approach making observations in this world? Now, see, and it don't take a whole lot of us. A very small amount of people can change the entire landscape of the whole world. Very small amount of people, right? But we're going to get into this tonight. Has anybody ever seen this movie? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody remember this movie? Cage, Snake Eye. I forgot to put the picture of Nicolas Cage. Well, we'll talk about that at the end. Okay, nobody's okay. So this was a movie Nicolas Cage played in. We're gonna read this, but this is now percolating in the psychology of the masses now. Movie came out in 1998. Cage, Snake Eyes. Well, Cage played in the movie. Name movie was Snake Eyes, 1998. Believe everything except your eyes. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, let's read about this, Jew. The first similarity users found was, and they're talking about the movie and its relationship to Charlie Kirk. The first similarity users found was thus in the name itself, given that Charlie Kirk's full name was Charles James Kirk. In the film, Kirkland gets shot in the what? Neck. And videos of Charlie Kirk's assassination also appeared to show the bullet hitting him in the side of the neck. Now, it's a character in this movie named Charlie Kirkland, who's at a major event, thousands of people there. It's a boxing match, and he gets shot in the neck and dies. Yeah, Charlie Kirkland. Users also pointed to the fact that the fighter who takes the fall in Snake Eyes when Kirkland is shot is named Lincoln Tyler. Now, time out. See, remember what I said, everything, I'm calculating this so that you can see exactly what's going on here. Remember at the beginning I said, this thing is so intelligent that it will find all kind of roots to attach to in order for the superposition to fully collapse from wave to particle in the physical world. So you will start to see remnants of the names and the figures pop up in the quote unquote fiction. See, listen, ain't no such thing as fiction, people. There's no such thing as fiction. I don't even know, that should not even be a word in the English dictionary if you really understood this phenomenon. But why am I stopping at Lincoln Tyler? Oh, why? What was the gentleman's name who is said to have killed Charlie Kirk in Utah? He goes by the name of Tyler Robinson. So we got the one who takes the fall is a gentleman named Lincoln Tyler, but the guy who actually shoots Charlie Kirk in what we're calling real life, which I'm telling you is a projection and a simulation, and we are coding this thing as we go. So you got a Charlie Kirkland who gets shot in the neck in a movie. You get a Charlie Kirk who gets shot in the neck in real life. The guy who takes the fall in the movie is Lincoln Tyler, and the guy who takes the fall in real life is Tyler Robinson. Wait a minute. Let's keep reading. Further, there were also claims that the fight in Snake Eyes takes place on September 10th, right? Because that's the date that Charlie Kirk was murdered, which is the same date of Kirk's assassination. But no official source has confirmed this. Okay? That's not all. The movie also has ties to Donald Trump. You don't say. Who Kirk strongly supported. Part of the movie was shot at the where, Minister Jew? The Trump Taj Mahal Hotel and Casino. Oh. 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 It's more. Now, if you're on Twitter, Elon has created a great little gadget called Grok, which is like it's like an artificial intelligence that you can ask it a question, Johnny, on the spot, and it'll pull up all the information and kick it back to you in real time. Is something true or false? What's the details? Da, 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 da. Yes, Charlie Kirk was fatally shot in the neck on September 10th. We all know that. Here we go. In the 1998 film Snake Eyes, Defense Secretary Charles Kirkland is assassinated by a shot to the neck/throat. The script. See. Let me tell you, this real script is taking place in the faculty of man's mind that creates pictures. That's where the real script is being written. But listen to what it said. The script mentions September 10th in dialogue about a birthday, which some interpret as the event date. So within the movie itself, the date September 10th is mentioned, but it's mentioned as a birth date, not actually the date where the shooting in the movie takes place. But as you can see here, we got all of these relating parallels, step after step. Charlie Kirkland. Shot in the neck. Tyler. September 10th in the script, September 10th. We 5 layers deep of synchronicity. You have to be a bumbling idiot to not see something is going on here. But see, here's the question. The film came out in 1998. Charlie Kirk was born, ladies and gentlemen, in 1993. That makes Kirk 4 or 5 years old when the movie came out. So now here go another logical question that we have to ask ourselves. If it's predictive programming, they didn't even know at 4 or 5 years old, they don't know that Charlie Kirk is going to be into politics. He's 5. He's still playing in the sandbox. He barely can spell his last name. See what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. See, this thing will find whatever it has to find in order to grow legs. This is why I be telling my members, y'all too worried about the how. Y'all, so let me tell you something. You will never, ever, ever, not in a million years, while you're in these bodies, and I'm never, not as long as you in these type of bodies, you ain't never going to figure out that level of mathematics. It's not going to happen. That's way above calculus and trig and conceptual math. Okay? You literally, it's past the realm of imaginary numbers. Do you hear me? So you'll be too worried about the how. See what I'm saying? Huh? Right? That could be potential too, Penny. He might wasn't even born when the script was written. That's potential too. Right? So it says the names, dates, and wound locations align, creating notable coincidences. Other details like the boxer's name vary in interpretations. But let's continue to read, Jew. Somebody asked the question, Grok, what are the statistical odds of this happening? Calculating the exact statistical odds of this specific coincidence, name, similarity, injury type, exact date matching a 1998 movie to a 2025 event is challenging, as it involves rare post hoc events. Roughly, the date match alone is 0.27% chance. Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, it's not even a 1% chance. Not even 1%. But that's not it. Factoring in name and details, odds could be 1 in millions or more, making it extraordinarily unlikely by chance alone. See, what Jigga say? Calm medicine flow. I'm connected to a higher power. This is outside of any realm of mathematics that you can process in these brains, these 3-pound brains. This is why I said at the beginning, whatever root, and here's a beautiful scripture. It's a beautiful scripture to elucidate this point. It says, behold, I will do a new thing. It springs out now. Don't you know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Isaiah 43:19. What is the scripture saying, Jude? It's in the wilderness. You don't know which way you're going. It's trees everywhere. It's wildlife everywhere. But let me tell you what, even in that condition, I'll make a pathway for you, buddy. Don't worry about it. Whoever got to play their part will play their part. Whoever got to show up in the woods out of the blue to help you get out, I'll make sure that they show up. Oh, and guess what else I'll do? I will put a river smack dab in the middle of a desert, in a barren, dry desert. If you thirsty and you need some drink, guess what's going to happen? I will make water sprout up out of the ground in that dry, barren place. In other words, what they are pointing to here, whatever got to happen will exactly happen. So don't you worry about how it's going to happen. Whatever got to happen, whatever got to show up, whoever I got to attach to, whoever got to get pulled in and pulled out, they going to show up on time, right on time. Okay? Now listen. The last video I had on this, somebody said, Jude, why are they giving this guy so much airtime? He was just a podcaster. He was just an influencer. Well, let's look at this. See, that's what I mean. The story, this fiction art, right? Thoughts, feelings are literally weaving together narratives in reality. And so there, it's a beautiful verse in scripture says that I kill and I make alive. I think I added it here. It says I wound and I heal. But the part that oftentimes I leave out of that is the very last line. And it says, and there is none that can deliver out of my hands. Let me tell y'all something. Once the ball get rolling. Once you get rolling, it's rolling, baby. And if you don't know these mechanics inside and out, boy, you're going to get stepped on or you're going to get blessed. But it's like woman in labor, bearing child. Boy, listen, once when that water break, baby coming. You just get out the way. Right? So look what they're doing. They say, Legislation is being filed in the U.S. House to place Charlie Kirk on 400,000 silver dollar coins in 2026. They making this guy like presidential honors, political honors. But why? Because see, the guy Kirk, Charlie Kirkland in the movie, he was working for the Department of Defense. He was intertwined into politics. So now you're starting to see things that naturally would be reserved for political figures. This thing has become fully bloomed. It has become fully bloomed. Right? And look at the plot. On the night of a tropical storm, corrupt and flamboyant Atlantic City police, and they get into it. But I want you to keep your eye on this tropical storm. Ooh-wee, 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 Mr. Jew. Let's read this, family. The night before Charlie Kirk was murdered. This is on Twitter. Prominent figure on Twitter, Mr. Colin Rugg. He's always sharing information. Tends to be, feels like he's a little bit more right-leaning, but that's neither here nor there. But let's just read what it says. The night before Charlie Kirk was murdered, Erica Kirk called a friend to come over to their house to pray for Charlie after feminist website Jezebel paid witches on Etsy to curse him, according to Megyn Kelly. Jezebel bragged just 2 days before Charlie was assassinated about how they paid for multiple curses to punish him. One of the curses was reportedly paid for on August the 23rd, and the witch promised that the results would be noticed in 2 to 3 weeks. Charlie was killed 2.5 weeks later. Erica and Charlie Kirk heard about these curses, and that news genuinely rattled Erica in particular, Kelly said. So much so that she and Charlie contacted a friend and asked him to come over and pray with them over Charlie the night before he was murdered. Pure evil. Now, wait a minute. This is a big timeout. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. You mean to tell me some witches, from over at Jezebel put a curse on Mr. Kirk? They promised results in 2 to 3 weeks, and under time, 2.5 weeks, Charlie checked on up out of here. This bothered the Kirk family so bad that they called and had somebody come over and pray over Charlie. So let me tell y'all something. Because see, I ain't going to give the whole game away. Because see, I once read in a very, very, very interesting book about certain information. Don't give it to people. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Because people will abuse it. But let me tell you something. It's elements to this thing, man. It's elements to this thing. And so oftentimes, you know, it's like how can I explain this? You know, you may be missing an ingredient. You can still make a nice pie, right? Like, see, you know, I be baking sweet potato pies. Got the recipe passed down from my great grandmother, then my grandmother, then I love them pies so much. I told my granny, you better show me how to make them pies. So, but I be making the pies now. But right, it's a certain ingredient you may not put in the pie, or you may put in the pie. It's still edible, it still tastes good, but you add that one little pinch of something else, and it just get that pie extra pop, and everybody's talking about how great it tastes, and it's just marvelous. Huh? It's the same thing with prayer. See, scripture said, the Christ told him, all of y'all talking about Lord, Lord, Lord. Lord, that's in scripture. Everybody come to about Lord, 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 Lord. Christ said, I don't know you hypocrites. That if you're really looking at that, they're trying to take it's a lot of vain repetitions happening. You think that you could, oh Lord, you got no. You may still be able to get some feedback, but if somebody else who is a little bit more studied, they know it's some other ingredients to that thing called prayer that take that thing to a whole nother stratosphere. Okay? Now remember, in the plot in the movie, there was a tropical storm that came through to corrupt and throw off the whole demo, because after the scene, that hurricane that came through in the movie caused a major disruption in trying to figure out who did it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is in the movie. Y'all see, I ain't lying. There was a tropical storm. Da 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 da. Now keep in mind what I tell y'all. Charlie, after a feminist website, Jezebel. Say it again, Roger. What I say? What? Say it again, Roger. Tell the people again. What we practicing right now in the ministry, in the membership? We working on something right now called Protect the Perimeter. But nonetheless, a feminist website called Jezebel, right? Okay. Hold on to your hats. The name Jezebel is not a character in the movie Snake Eyes, but rather the name of the hurricane featured in the 1998 thriller Snake Eyes. Ooh. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. So you mean to tell me in the movie Snake Eyes, there was a hurricane that came through. And in the movie, the hurricane was named Jezebel. Two weeks ago, a feminist website, Jezebel, was around here casting spells on Mr. Kirk. I'm gonna go back to the scripture. I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. See, whatever got to happen will happen. That's why I said at the beginning, this thing is not to be played with. You don't know how powerful you really are. We collectively don't know how powerful we really are. Let's read this, though, Jew. In a study reported in February 26th issue of the Nature magazine, volume 391, pages 871 through 874, researchers at the Weizmann Institute of Science have now conducted a highly controlled experiment demonstrating how a beam of electrons is affected by the act of being observed. The experiment revealed that the greater the amount of watching, the greater the observer's influence on what actually takes place. Huh? Look what they said. Jezebel bragged just 2 days before Charlie was assassinated about how they paid for multiple. That's several eyes. But what did they tell us? The greater the observing or the greater the amount of watching has a greater amount of impact on what actually takes place. See, I don't want to scare y'all. My intention is not to scare y'all. I'm a messenger. I've been sent to convey this. That way, you could never say you didn't know. You could never say you weren't taught. You could never say you weren't aware. You just can't do it. But look, right? This is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create the darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, aka the computation, because the Lord there is I am. I, the Lord, do all these things. See, and this is why I mentioned this earlier. This polarity thing. See, because light is the opposite of darkness. Darkness is the opposite of light. Peace is the opposite of evil. Evil is the opposite of peace. Is it not? But yet in this scripture, it is the Lord saying, I do all these things. Now, if you run out of here today and you go tell your minister, your pastor, whoever, that God is the creator of evil, they will say that you are being blasphemous, that you have a devil, that if something is wrong with you, that you are out of your mind, and God is only love and God is only peace. I want you to point them to Isaiah 45:7, where it says, I make peace and I create evil. And I, the Lord, do all these things. See, when you get a grasp on this idea, you start to understand why all things are able to come in and out of existence. Some of the deepest, darkest things and some of the greatest things that exhibit light and righteousness, all of these things are coexisting in the same world together. And you trying to figure out, where's God? What would God do? And why would God do? And then you look over here and say, well, look how God bless, and God is blessed. So you got all of this going on in the world at the same time. But one thing we calling the devil, and the other thing we calling God. Whole time God is saying, wait, I created the evil though. And I can also create the peace though. Or I can create the light, and I also can create the darkness. But I just want to show y'all something else. Because see, I don't want nobody to be in their feelings. I'm trying to get people out their feelings about this, where you could look at it and say, okay, I get the play. I see the play. I know what's going on. One of my members emailed me, they was like, Jude, well, what if this happens? I said, look, just mind your business. Do what you can to do. Focus on your goals, because if it ever cross a line, then we going regulators mount up. I'm telling you. Okay? Well, I just want to show you this. Because this is a sister, Octavia Butler. I think I might have showed this before, but it's worth reiterating now. A dystopian novelist predicted Trump's campaign slogan in the 90s. Octavia Butler wrote about a zealot who promised to do what? Make America great again. These were the words that she put inside of a fictional character's mouth that was running for president. You could bet your bottom dollar Trump don't know nothing about this lady in this book. Yet it's a MAGA phenomenon. Is it not? See what I mean about pulling you back to the world of causes versus looking at the projection in the world of effects? I'll give you another example. There was a book, came out like in early 1900s, called The Last President. I shouldn't laugh at this, because this got the potential to be very problematic, Jew. In this book, the character's name is Baron Trump. Now we're talking in the 1900, y'all. Trump wasn't born, nowhere near born. So if he wasn't born, and now Trump has a son named Baron. You see what I mean about how this thing works? it starts to pull all, it's like a gumbo where all these moving pieces it's like in a pool, they call it a coagulant. And you pour coagulant in the pool, and then all of the debris, all of the loose particles that is floating around in the pool, the coagulant brings them all together to stabilize it and bring it into one location. That way it makes it easier for you to clean your pool out. So this quantum phenomenon is similar to a coagulant. It gets every part that has a potential piece to play in the story. It starts to pull them all together to make the story come alive. Right? And so now the main character in this book is Barron Trump, and we know that Trump, which is the president now, right? And he has a son named Barron Trump, right? Now look at these. What other people would look at this and they say, "Oh wow, that's a coincidence." He has an office on the 5th Avenue in New York City. Same as your boy Donald in real life, in the book. He also wins an election in surprising fashion. You don't say. Dare I rewind you back to 2016? Was not everybody completely and utterly shocked? Causes uproar, especially in Chicago. The country becomes divided and the republic becomes split up. Oh, man. I dare you to check the temperature in the room right now. I dare you to check the temperature. But, oh, yeah, you don't say, especially in Chicago. Oh, but then this happens. U.S. military to take over Trump. This was big news for about a month. Sending the troops to Chicago. The governor and the mayor, they're going back and forth, back and forth. It's fighting. It's a bunch of swords being thrown around with words. Huh? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to say. These things, they grow legs, people. They grow legs. But see, I'm going to tell you something about entanglement. Tell you something about this. Entanglement means two or more are intertwined and locked in together. So if you go back through scripture, you'll see a lot of the prominent figures were entangled. Aaron and Moses, Elijah and Elisha, John the Baptist and the Christ. And there's another set. I won't say those two, but it's another set that's entangled. That when the rubber hit the road and they get popping, they come online and they put some foot to butt. Okay. But the main thing is, even in this, my main goal, anytime I open my mouth to talk about this, because this gives you this is awe-inspiring. When you see, like, no way. But then you go, I bet some of y'all probably Googling right now, is this true? Jezebel? And every time you Google Minister Jew, you come back like, man, Jew one line. Jew one line. Of course not. But the main goal is to always revert it back to you, so that you know, okay, okay, I get the principles. How do I do it for myself? Okay, well, what is it that you want to get entangled with? You can't be lukewarm. What is it that you want to get entangled with? Or well, what should you be getting entangled with according to what your desire is? You can't be all over the place. Oh, I see that there's this correspondence between writing stories down as if something has happened. Oh, well, let me go get my pen and pad out and let me start to journal my life. You see? So you can take from this presentation and do what? Learn how to, let me remove that from the screen. Let me see, hold on. What did I do? All right, am I back now? Am I back? Can y'all see me? I'm good. Somebody give me some feedback. Okay, appreciate you. So I like to demonstrate this in this fashion. One, so you can see how real this thing is. That's the first thing. Like, as they say, seeing is believing. So if you can see it, then you're like, well, wait a minute. All right, that will give you enough fuel to say, okay, this is worth me practicing. This is worth me trying. You know what I mean? And then once you do it and you start to see the feedback in your life, it's really there. The value on this information, you really can't put a dollar amount on it. You really can't. You know what I'm saying? Because this can change the entire landscape of reality if used effectively. You see? So look, man, I just wanted to come over here and drop this on y'all this evening. And I said after this, I'm putting it to bed. Like, I'm not touching on this subject, on this particular person and subject. Tonight was just strictly getting into the science behind it. You know what I'm saying? The ins and outs of how this thing, like, I'm giving y'all the behind the scenes. The quantum, Minister Jew is the behind the scenes of quantum mechanics. Of scripture, of, the real nuts and bolts behind what these passages are trying to convey to the reader. So again, man, if you like the content, subscribe. If you feel like going further and you want to get closer to the ministry, join the membership. The link is in the description box below. You can also donate, become a monthly donor to the ministry, man. Because let me tell you something, ain't nobody putting it down like Minister Jew. Nobody. And I ain't got to come on here every day. And I don't. I pop in and pop out when I feel like it. See what I'm saying? When I feel the need to have to speak on something. But it don't matter where you at on planet Earth, it ain't nobody. I'm a one-on-one down here. When it comes to this type of information, you ain't gonna find it nowhere else. You ain't gonna find it nowhere else, man. That's just the truth. And so if you want to support me, right, in any way, donate to the ministry, man. It's a link in the description box for that below. You can become a monthly donor, one-time donor. It don't matter, man. We're going to continue to push this message as far and wide as possible. Okay? And lastly, in a few weeks here, maybe 3 weeks or so, about 3.5 weeks, me and Ampu and I, for the proper English people, we're going to be in Chicago, my hometown, from the 10th through the 12th, 3 days, kicking it with the priesthood, man. Real relaxed, chill type of vibes, man. We're going to cap it, though, with something real powerful down in Lake Michigan. Yes, we are. But we're gonna be locked in, man. Friday, we're gonna do some super chill stuff. Then Saturday, we're gonna all get together for another mingle. I think Ampu may bring his oral machine out. we may do like a YouTube live or something. It's just gonna be chill, man. And then Sunday, we're gonna meet at Lake Michigan. I'm still working on the color scheme. I don't know what color I'm gonna do. I might do like gold and red to kind of complement the season. Something like that. I don't know. But we gonna be at Lake Michigan getting it in, man, early. That way people catch a flight Sunday to get back home. They have plenty of opportunity to get out of here Sunday afternoon to get back home. For people who got to get back to business Monday morning. You know. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. That ore machine, had that ore machine over a decade. Absolutely. Man, you ain't never seen that, man. Man, boy, I didn't show some of them pictures over here before, I'm sure. Man. I mean, that thing give you a whole 27-page readout, bro. Hella detailed. Absolutely. Costs a pretty penny too, man. I think that machine's about $8,000. But anyways, that's what it is, man. So I just want to come over here and drop that this evening. Shout out to all my members in the building tonight, all my ambassadors of the light. Appreciate everybody in here. Tomorrow night, man, guided visualization in the membership too. We wrapping September up. So y'all get ready for that midnight joint tomorrow. Links will go out 10 minutes prior to. We're going to get it in. And then I'll be getting the schedule ready for October for all of the members. So if you're interested in joining the ministry, joining the membership, click the link below. If you're interested in becoming a donator, a donor, click the link below. If you want to come meet us in Chicago in a few weeks here, click the link below. Other than that, man, I'm signing out, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.